another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Do one more share. There we go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry. Not really, but I mean, I haven't necessarily been stirring the pot, but I kind of been letting people know, what recovery is all about. It sounds like a dog is stuck outside. Let me go grab him. Still too cold for her to be stuck at it. She'd be fine, most likely, but otherwise we just hear, yup, yipe, yipe, yipe. I believe that I live in a free country. Right? And I believe that everybody has a right to their opinion, whether I agree with it or not. I think they have a right to it. And that includes myself. And if you think it's okay to write me and let me know, do you think that something isn't appropriate, then you can kiss my butt. Everything I've been writing about, everything I talk about is fact. Fact, man. I'll make shit up. I have time to make shit up. I wouldn't even know how to keep track of that anymore anyway. My brain just doesn't work like that, right? But today we're talking about a safety net, right? And a safety net is going to have to do with your steps 1, 2, and 3. Can you please get out of that bag that I don't want you in ever? Thanks. Sorry. Not as agile as I used to be. But this morning we were talking about a safety net, and a safety net has to do when you're having maybe a bad day, right? Don't worry, I'm going to take care of this today. Now watch, if I turn on, I'm gonna show you. Yeah, absolutely, be kind to animals. I'm being kind to my yappy next door neighbor and dog. See, so you can see right there in the upper left, you can see the lion's eye and stuff. There's a blanket in front of that window, so that's why it's doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it green for now. So you believe me? Thanks, Chris. Hey, Patricia. Good to see you, honey. Good to see you. We're talking about a safety net. Maybe I should have told Ingrid. That was live. She's gonna show up at like the 10-minute mark you watch. Getting to know my friends, aren't I? Right. Yeah. So I did put out a post yesterday about what a recovery coach was, and I think I did a pretty good job of it. I didn't cut other people down. It was all fact. It was straightforward. It, because people need to be educated, right? And I got to be careful on how I do that. I do. Okay. So she's like, okay, let's get to the safety net. All right. Is that a 12 steps and traditions, page 105? I forgot I moved my bookshelf to over here. So I'm going to have to start setting this up to where I've got everything ready. Page 105. This is in step 11. I'm going to go back a paragraph. We discover, so I'm on the, if you're following along, I'm on page 104 in the 12 by 12 at the very bottom. We discovered that we do receive guidance for our lives to just about the extent that we stop making demands upon God to give it to us on order on our terms. Almost any experienced AA will tell how his affairs have taken remarkable and unexpected turns for the better as he tried to improve his conscious contact with God. He will also report that out of every season of grief or suffering, when the hand of God seemed heavy or unjust, new lessons for living were learned. New resources of courage were uncovered, and that finally, inescapably, the conviction came that God does move in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. I was talking about this with a friend the other day, and what we were talking about was how the gifts from God are always so much different than what you think they're going to be. I don't have an expectation of what it might be, but it never really comes in the form of anything solid. Okay. It usually comes in the form of a feeling of love, of knowing I did the right thing. Okay, those are the extra dividends that I get. I get a peace and serenity from doing those things. And those are the extra dividends in providing love. All this should be very encouraging news for those who recoil from prayer because they don't believe in it, or because they feel themselves cut off from God's help and direction. All of us, without exception, pass through times when we can pray only with the greatest exertion of will. Occasionally, we go even further than this. We are seized with a rebellion so sickening that we simply won't pray. And I've been through this. I have been through this. And it's a hard place because it's a rock and a hard place. And you're really making a decision now. You're really making a decision. Is God going to be everything or is he going to be nothing? This was the turning point. We asked his protection with care and abandon. Complete abandon. And when we say that we are seized with a rebellion so sickening that we simply won't pray, right? That is an emotional, or I would probably call a spiritual lapse. Okay, not a relapse, not a slip, just a lapse. Everybody's calling and ugh. Okay. Two things. Hi. It says Facebook user, so I'm not sure who it is. I'm going to presume it's Gail. I'm guessing. I'm so guessing. Whoever it is, what you should do is find like an emoticon that's yours. Like I have one person where they put a sunshine, and I know it's them. I have another person, they put a Canadian flag, and I know it's them. So if you want to do it that way too, go for it, because that's kind of fun. Somebody just left me a message too. When these things, somebody is really trying to get in touch with me. When these things happen, we should not think too ill of ourselves. We should simply resume prayer as soon as we can, doing what we know to be good for us. I'm really curious as to who's calling me. that much. Give me 1 second here. Nobody's on Instagram, so. Give me 15 minutes and I will call you. I have no idea who this is. But and they left a message. So, okay. All right. Sorry, I'm a little distracted now because my gut is telling me that I really need to. Okay, so it's Gary. Okay. All right. See, it's things like that when God intercepts. Okay. Anyway, okay. So, yes, we're going to have times when even praying is going to be very hard. Maybe we're mad at God. Maybe we're upset with God. I've been upset with God before when I'm not on talking terms with Him. And you know what I'm talking about. And these usually pass fairly quickly for me because I just don't like being angry. And I haven't been mad at God in a while. I do that before something happens. Sometimes I scream, stomp my feet. You know what I do? I kick empty boxes. Yep. I kick empty boxes. That I kicked one the other day. It felt very satisfying. I take all my rage, put it into my foot, and kick a box. It goes flying into the yard. Actually, the other day, I muffed it. It wasn't a good kick, and it was very unsatisfying. Sometimes I scream, stomp my feet, and turn my back on my higher power. Then my disease tells me that I am a failure and that if I stay angry, I'll surely get drunk. That's not entirely true. In these moments of self-will, it's as if I've slipped over a cliff and I'm hanging on by one hand. The above passage is my safety net in that it urges me to try some new behavior, such as me being kind and patient with myself. It assures me that my higher power will wait until I am willing once again to risk letting go, to land in the net, and to pray. So, reminders. What can we do with some of this anger that comes along? Um, Time limits seem to work really well. I can be angry about this for 5 minutes as much as I want, and then I can move, and then I'm going to move on. Doesn't always work, but it's a good indicator to let your brain know that we are done being angry here. So that way, after the 10 minutes, if it comes back up again, nope, nope, you got to give it to God. And maybe you're going to give it to God a lot that day. Next day is going to be a little bit easier, and it's going to be a little bit easier. And then after a while, after you practice this for a little while, you will find out that you get pretty good at it. And one day you will turn around and do it and not even notice that you did it. It won't be till weeks later that you're like, holy shit, I did that. Did I do that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I think that anger is probably one of I think it was one of my biggest problems, and I think it tends to be the biggest problem for most alcoholics because it's a natural emotion, and it's one that people revert to. I mean, it's not like you have a bunch of options, either depression or anger, that you're going to turn to on a negative connotation, of course. Right? So in those moments, um, I would begrudgingly pray, God, I'm really mad at you right now, but I would still like it if you would remove everything so I could be good to your people. Eh. Guess what? It still worked. It still worked. God got me out of myself because I asked. The fact that I did it even begrudgingly, I don't think mattered to him. I don't think it mattered. He's like, well, if you want to have a shitty attitude while you're doing it, great, but you're still doing it. So, so that means that steps 1, 2, and 3 are our safety net. They are the foundation of your program, and you should work on them every single day. It is easy. I work on steps 1, 2, and 3 before I do anything else. And I do it with prayer. I ask God to keep me clean and sober that day. That's me admitting that I'm an alcoholic. I'm praying, so therefore my belief in God is there, right? I pray for other people in my family and the people that need it. I start with the serenity prayer, right? And then I end with the third step prayer. Now I've done steps 1, 2, and 3 before I've even talked to another human being, and my safety net is in place. I'm going to tell you, there's been a lot of times I have needed my safety net. Some days it's a back to basics day. So, and people are like, what does that mean? It means you're on steps 1, 2, and 3 for today because it's all you can do. And that's okay. You can still help people. You can still do what you need to do while in steps 1, 2, and 3. Maybe not as well as usual, but that's okay. There's a reason we're not all sick on the same day. Like the days that I'm not doing well, you guys are doing better, and vice versa. So that way we can help each other out. Okay. All right. That's what I got today for the Daily Trudge. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It was good to have you. We have Patricia and Chris and Gary. It was good to have you all. Thank you for being here. I love you. Peace out. And